The bank prospector, kind of, can you break that down and what it does?
Yeah. So banks and credit unions are federally insured. Your money, when you put money with them, it's federally insured. And so part of what comes with that insurance is this heavy regulation. And the regulation requires that they file reports. And in those reports, it exposes basically everything that you would need to know about which banks and credit unions to pursue. Spoiler alert, it's your small community and regional lenders. If you're calling on Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Chase, I have done deals with a couple of those, and it's usually with a commercial workout office that's a regional office that they have some, deal that, and that's the way that works. But for the most part, the big boys, like, you got to show up with a significant amount to make anything worthwhile, to make it worth them talking to you. I'm sorry, did I get off track about your question?
No, I mean, in regards to that, I mean, I agree. Most of the applications to get on a list for the bigger banks has been at least like a $50 million balance sheet, right? And then they also want to maybe see some audited financials for a couple of years or whatever that may be. So for most people entering, that is definitely going to be a challenge. And I think they automatically assume that that is the best place to go to, right?
Right. You say, well, they have so much of it, that must be the right place. But, a lot of times I hear from folks and they're like, oh, I found this property, I'm in Florida, I found this property in Tampa, and the loans with, B of A, and it's got a notice of default, and I want to, buy the note. I'm like, well, good luck. Like, that's not like, I can't help you with that. And nobody can, because it does take relationships and it does take time. And what we want to help you do is identify the right lenders where you need to make those relationships, then the people who work there, so that you can engage with them, so that you can be there when the deals happen. And that's really the way, if you're going to go direct to institutions, that's really the way this works. A lot of people will say, well, can I get, can I get their list? Can I get the list of non-performing notes that they have? Well, no, you can't. Because it doesn't work like that. Imagine if every time you fell behind on a payment, there was like some portal where people could log in and see other people, behind on their, I don't think we'll ever see that in the US. And so, or anywhere. The way it does work is that there are asset managers, workout officers. They go by a variety of names, but that generally, they're in that sort of space. And all day long, they get files on their desks, and then they put them into a spreadsheet, which a lot of people call a tape, and then they evaluate, what do we have to do with each one of these things? And then they go to meetings and they're reporting about what they want to, how they want to handle it. But they're real people, and they live in your community, and they put on pants every day and take a bologna sandwich to work. And they're looking for solutions for individual assets, but they're not posting them online. There's no, it doesn't work like that. So instead, what we say is, okay, well, first things first, if there are 12,000 lenders, bank and credit unions in the US, then I can't call them all. Even if I called, 5 a day, every single day, we're talking about years to get through a single call. So let's first reduce that down to which of these lenders actually has the types of assets that I'm after. And then there are other indicators that you can look at that you can see, okay, do they have a history of selling? Can we see that they've sold non-accrual loans in the past? Can we see that they're holding some of them right now? Can we see that they've got REO? Is their condition improving or deteriorating? Do we see each month, each quarter, that their non-performers are stacking up? Do we see that they're taking charge-offs? This kind of stuff. And so first we'd reduce this world of lenders down to a smaller, more approachable mix. Then we say, okay, well, who works here? And how do I find them? What are what are my connections to them, and what are the ins? But it really does take, this isn't a transactional business. So you don't just, you don't pick up the phone. Rarely you pick up the phone and say, hey, do you have any notes for sale? And they're like, yeah, here's the tape. You know what I mean? Like that's not typically how it works. And, we have seen folks turn over some stuff pretty quick within, as little as few as 60 days, and they're engaged with a lender. But that's because they did the work to identify the people, to speak with them on a human level, and to talk about, like, what is that you're dealing with, in your role at your bank. How can I help you with that? Here's what we do. Here's, how we're able to help. And that's how relationships get established. And then it's a continual following up and touching base and adding a little value all the time, so that when something comes in, helping them understand where and when you can help, so that when something does come across their desk that's appropriate for you, they can say, I know just the guy, for that one. He's buying this kind of stuff.